Seek Goddess and you will find her. But how can a sacred union be achieved? Who activates the transcendence from earthly to heavenly realms? For early cultures around the globe, they were the priestesses. These holy women embodied the purity of heart, unwavering dedication, and mystical tools that allowed them to link mere mortals with the divine. Priestesses of ancient cultures officiated rituals and ceremonies. They managed their temples and counseled community members through life's milestones and challenges. They passed down sacred teachings. In early societies, these initiates of Goddess were honored. They held high positions in the community, for it was they who spoke with Goddess in ways that lay people couldn't. As Goddess religions were dismantled, priestesses disappeared with them. Patriarchal religions prohibited women from taking roles in rituals and services within their cathedrals and temples. But in recent years, echoes of the Goddess ways have begun to resound clearly again, and modern-day priestesses of the Western world are reigniting traditions to touch the feminine face of God. Stay tuned to learn more about priestesses, and one modern-day priestess in particular, in this episode of Rise of Venus. In Long Beach, California, near the bustling city of Los Angeles, you might hear the sounds of an ancient time. Anniitra Ravenmoon lives to celebrate life and share the positive energy of Goddess with others. As archpriestess with the Fellowship of Isis, Anniitra has dedicated her life to honoring feminine spirit and inspiring her community. She tells us about her life as a modern-day priestess and her commitment to serving Goddess in her many forms.
I am ordained in the service of Isis, Sekhmet, Kali, Morgan, and Yemoja. I am also an Orisha priestess and a Dianic priestess. 2013, I was consecrated as an archpriestess and it's for the work I do, for the work I've been doing. I've been a priestess since 20, 30 years almost, all in all. So I was raised in a Christian Baptist environment in my youth. Still living with mom and dad, I had to go to church because they wanted you to go to church. But as I grew up, no, I didn't feel it that much. I didn't feel the spirit. I was a party doll. I used to party a lot. I used to go out a lot with a bunch of people, and I used to do a lot of clubbing. Some of my girlfriends and I worked at Douglas Aircraft, McDonnell Douglas in the 60s, and from the 70s to I retired. I worked at the refinery. I used to call myself oil field woman. So my life before being a priestess or being in spirituality was like a whirlwind.
Taking a sacred path to serve the divine is often the answer to a calling, which may come through a dream, a sign, or an inner knowing. Anniitra's calling illustrates the mystical way in which Goddess works.
I saw Isis in dreams. But I didn't know that's what it was. I saw it as plain as day, with a disc. And then after I started reading books and tarot cards and things like that, I saw her in the cards and the books. And I saw a couple of other goddesses that I got, later on I got ordained in their service. So Isis wasn't the only one, but she was the first one.
Anniitra's calling radically changed her life.
I joined the Fellowship of Isis in 1998. I started studying online, so that led to me being a priestess with the Fellowship of Isis. That's where my journey started after that.
Though she honors all representatives of Goddess, her spiritual journey started with Isis, to whom Anniitra continues to dedicate her life.
Isis is all that there is all. Isis is the most honorable of the goddesses of all spirituality. She goes back so far that we don't even know. They always say 2,000 years. No. It's maybe over 10. Isis is like your first primordial mother. She is the first one of the ancient mothers.
Anniitra's life is one of gratitude for the gifts of the earth and for her strong connection with spirit. And she strives to be an inspiration for others.
A priestess is like a teacher. You have to teach other people how to use their spirituality, to use their intuition, use all of their chakras to the best of their ability to honor the mother, our ancient mothers. The women came here first. I don't care what nobody says. Our ancient mothers, and so that's what I do. I thank them and I teach what I learned myself. But it's not even like a practice. It's a lifestyle of living. You live your life by an example. You're inspiring people as you live your everyday life. I get up in the morning and I say good morning to my plants and my this, and I do that all the time. So it's not like I get this out of a book. It's a lifestyle. Okay, I'm going to play for my collard greens right here, which Meloney's going to take some home, and play for my palm trees.
In several locations around the world, the remains of temples stand where entire communities once worshipped their goddesses. These sacred sites were the center of their town, and in many of them, priestesses managed temple affairs. Anniitra considers her home a temple space. She holds classes, salons, and rituals here. Everywhere you look, you see a representation of Goddess. It illustrates her promise fulfilled.
I owe them, and they helped me get this house. Once I was a priestess, or once I started studying the spirituality, I wanted to do something with it other than just study myself. So before I moved in this house where I am now, I've been here 19 years, I had a smaller place, so everything was all cluttered. I started looking for bigger places, and I found this one. I wanted it so bad, but I didn't know if I could afford it. And I talked to the goddesses. I talked to my statues, and I said, I'm going to take you to the home that I want for us. You're going to help me get it. Or if you don't help me get it, you're going to be living in a box. I took Bast, Kali, Isis, there was another goddess. I took 4 goddesses with me. I know people thought I was crazy. I took all 4 of the statues with me, and I went to the backyard, and I put the 4 statues along the fence, along the ground on the fence. I said, this should be our new home. You help me get it. And they helped me get this house. And that's why you see them all over the house, on the floor and there, because they helped me get here.
A priestess embodies a number of qualities that enable her to activate and transmit divine energy. In many goddess cultures, prophetic power, the ability to see into the future, was an especially valued gift. priestesses of many cultures used a variety of methods and tools to see future outcomes, including astrology, stones, bones, and special signs. Anniitra also relies on a variety of traditional tools to help guide others through times of questioning.
I blend certain tarot cards with certain shells and certain bones and certain stones. I have 3 cowries. I usually just throw them like this. And if 2 of them are up, this is positive. This would be negative if they're on this side. So, in other words, these 2, one is a negative, one is a positive, but it's in the earth sign. So, you just travel quietly and travel and stay grounded. This one is in the positive sign and it's in the fire sign. And so whatever you do today, just make it be with compassion and passion.
In spiritual gatherings and rituals, the priestess is the conduit to a mystical experience. She opens the doors to a cosmic connection with the divine. Through the seasons and for many reasons, communities gathered to worship their deities. Priestesses led the rituals, often through drumming, dancing, music, and prayer, to transport the followers to ecstatic realms.
This most sacred day for us and for your earth family. Be with us.
Once a year, Anniitra leads a ritual by the sea to honor Goddess and show appreciation for her blessings throughout the year. Anniitra brings together the entire community of women and men and invites them to participate in the ritual. Using traditional methods, Anniitra generates a connection with Goddess. Together, the community creates an energy field of reverence, love, and gratitude for Goddess's many blessings and earthly beauty.
My spirituality helped me calm me down and help make me see that there is more to life than what I was doing a long time ago. And now I do things that are helpful to others. You live by looking at others live, how I live. I love doing what I do. I mean, it's just part of my life now. I've lived a pretty good life as far as doing things that I like doing. Spirituality can help, especially the younger generation, see more of themselves and see more and honor the ancient mothers that came before them. It gives them a foundation, a starting point. But when they go into themselves and study women's spirituality, they get more confidence within. That helps. And then they'll see themselves in a different light. And then things change. It just automatically change. And so I like to impart that to the younger generation too.
Thanks to the women's spirituality movement and priestesses like Anniitra Ravenmoon, women and men can access the ancient ways to enliven their spirits and create a sacred connection with the divine feminine. Thank you for watching. This is Rise of Venus.